Hey Satish, how are you? Hope you're doing good. I know we had a meeting earlier today, but you have priorities that you have to take care of. It's totally fine. We totally understand, so it's fine. Um, we actually wanted to present you this presentation of our work and what we worked throughout the week and how important it is to keep you updated. Oh yeah, one thing that I wanted to mention is that the user research that you provided us before, we felt that it was really valuable to us. We were able to gather all the data and able to continue it off in seeing what users actually said throughout the user testing, and we felt it like very valuable. And actually, it was like kind of like a boost for us in order for us to continue on with the design process. Weekly updates we have for you. So what we've been working on. So we've been working on the Affinity maps, the empathy maps, the personas, how my we's, and then Sitemap. I don't know how like familiar you are with that, but it's like really critical to gathering information about the users and the business and seeing how they are and trying to like empathize more and see how they feel, their thoughts, their struggles, their frustrations, in order for us to get more insights and help us proceed into the design process. So here's Affinity Map. So basically, Affinity Map is getting all the information from all the users and getting like everything they had to say about their experience in Schoolio, about the product, about what they felt and their problems and anything that they experienced throughout the process in Schoolio. So from the previous user research that was done from the previous time, so we were able to gather all this information and gather post notes and posted the important information that was said from each user. And then from there, we were able to create an affinity map. So it's basically all the points that were said from each user categorized into topics. So these topics were then created and organized and categorized into one. So we based it off the topics. The titles are in the top. So easy and intuitive. So a lot of users did find it easy to check out throughout the process, but somehow like did find to struggle throughout the process. So there could actually be a better, more convenient way to set up the shop and ways for users to navigate a lot more easier. So the device, so that's basically what device I ended up using. Is it like mobile, tablet, or desktop? Either of those. And then the suggestions. So like basically what they said about the design of the Schoolio site and what they would change. And then the problems is like what they struggled throughout like the process of checking out and loading time and their like typical problems that they experienced throughout the process. And then the product insights is basically how they felt after getting the product. So they really enjoyed the curriculum. They really liked it. They loved it. They say that how like they felt encouraged. So it's really good to see like this information for to providing more information about the users. So the sources is what online information, online websites they use for homeschooling, and then social. So the majority of users that were tested were actually from like the Facebook group, and also like word of mouth is pretty big. So I felt like Schoolio has a lot of direct traffic from the Facebook group, so that's a good thing. So users also said that some users do have children, and also like some users don't actually have children and actually tutor children. So their guidance means that like Schoolio like users, they really want that guidance. They're looking for like the samples was like a good one that really helped them proceed with the purchase of that guidance. So that was one. And then they're just overall looking for that curriculum that are able to help them. So they're Schoolio for you, you know. So the frustrations are like what they thought about like how homeschooling like is to them. Like it's daunting, and the COVID situation making it like a lot worse for them, and it was a lot harder to get involved with the community because of the COVID. So I think that's a big frustration for the users. And then the purchases was after they ended up purchasing the product, So if they ended up buying the product digital, so digital meant for some users is that like if they couldn't really wait for the product to get to their house and they needed to work on the curriculum like really fast because they were behind. So that's one of the options users for Schoolio would actually get the digital product. And then users will get like the non-digital product if they have time, and also like if they want the kids to spend more time on paper and writing instead of actually on the computer or a screen. So parents do consider that a lot. And then post purchase was purchase. 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 Yeah, I think I skipped one, or I skipped something. So purchase is that they ended up like the majority of users ended up buying like the bundle. So that's a good thing. But the bad thing is that the bundle is like really, really deep with all the other units. So it makes it a lot harder. So that's basically that the bundle should be something in the top or a priority for Schoolio for users to find right away. And some of the users actually did buy the units separately. One thing that stood out to me was that this user ended up buying the product first and buying one unit, and they said that it was like $20. So they bought that unit to see if it's actually the right curriculum for them. So after that they felt comfortable, and then they ended up buying all the other units. But I feel like users should not feel like they need to buy a unit first and see if they're comfortable enough. I feel like they should be provided that like right away to make that comfortable and trusted purchase. So the delights is that they really like the samples, they like seeing the photos, they like seeing everything, and then they really like the Canadian standard, how it was up to the Canadian standards, and they like the curriculum overall. So Schoolio is awesome. So there's always room for improvement. So
next up was the empathy map. An empathy map is basically a visual way to organize and understand the different feelings and thoughts of a user. We took the information from the user research to collect this data and put it together. As you can see, there are two. The first is the homeschooling mom, and it kind of shows what she's able to think, do, feel, say, her pains and gains. So she is challenged in order to balance children between multiple grades, and she definitely teaches them from home, and she uses Schoolio as part of her everyday learning experience. She's currently feeling a lack of confidence with her teaching, and she's struggling to navigate the site when she makes those purchases. She says that her kids are happy with the structure of the Schoolio program, and she loves that the content is Canadian-based. Pains that the homeschooling mom has is that it's challenging to navigate when she's shopping. And during checkout, it's hard for her to back out to get to other students at different grade levels. Things that she has to gain are an easy curriculum to follow and peace of mind and decreased stress that she's teaching a Canadian curriculum. When it comes to the home tutor, she is thinking that this curriculum makes less stress for her. It's easier for her to follow this. There's a simple navigation and site content that could save her time overall. She's working with students, again, using the Schoolio curriculum. She's relieved and has a guide for the content that she's putting out for the children. And she says that her students love the supplemental units especially. Her pain with Schoolio is a struggle to find proper curriculum. She has to go all the way to the bottom of the screens in order to find the full curriculum for the grade level she's seeking. And her gains, she loves those additional mini units again, and they're exciting for the students that she works with. And she has a peace of mind that the kids are learning what is expected based on Canadian content. Next up, our third point is personas and how might we use. Personas are basically fictional characters, and they help us keep the people we're designing for in the forefront of our mind throughout this designing process. We also set up the how might we's in order to help us to deliver on potential problems we could solve using the information we know about users. So first, let's look at the personas and see who we have. First, we have Alicia, our homeschooling mom. She loves homeschooling her kids with a 100% Canadian curriculum. She's a 41-year-old wife and mom of 3 living in Ontario, Canada. Her goals are to simplify her shopping experience and to teach more confidently at home. frustrations that she currently has are shopping for 2 kids, and she feels like that's a particular challenge. And she also feels as though the site is currently kind of pieced together with the fonts and layouts that are accessible at the time. Looking into her a little deeper, she's been homeschooling for about a year and a half. She finds herself with a pretty decent ease of shopping for the curriculum, rating herself at about a 4. And she is decently comfortable teaching curriculum, but it's definitely an area of growth for her. Moving on to Kat, our homeschool tutor. She is happy to tutor, but sometimes she finds that the materials hold her up. She is a 26-year-old single woman living in Alberta, Canada. Her major goal is to spend less time finding the materials for the grade levels that she needs, and her frustration is that it's challenging to find the materials to purchase. Her perspective, she's been homeschooling for about a year. She has more difficulty navigating and finding the curriculum that she needs, and she is decently comfortable teaching the curriculum provided. So, the how might we's that we came up with, again, think of these as kind of an anchor question, ways that we can continue to think about what our target is here with redesigning some of these pages for Schoolio. So how might we enhance a busy mom's experience while shopping for a curriculum? How might we simplify navigating Schoolio, making it more simple for the people that are using it every single day? How might we categorize products in a more efficient manner? How might we appeal to busy families as a brand? And finally, how might we showcase the unique curriculum that Schoolio has to offer, which is done particularly well through those additional courses that we have.
So the sitemap, so it's basically the sitemap is like a visual layout of the whole pages of Schoolio, and I feel like this will help us towards the design process. So the sitemap is going to be like the top navigation, like the links in the top. So we ended up including shop, explore, about us, account, media, and partner. So shop is almost like basically the same thing, but it's probably like narrowed down to just the provinces. And then the kinder through 8th and the product details, then add to cart. Then exploring, I feel like that title is open for discussion, but it could include like content that could make you stand out from the competitors, like the kindergarten program, the language program, special interest units, and just like allow the user to know more about Schoolio. And then about us, we ended up replacing contact us with about us because we felt like about us could explain more about Schoolio and the mission and the goals and how the brand is unique and how they're able to provide that solution to users. And the about us is, I feel like it's more valuable than the contact us, because the contact us could be like anywhere around the page. Also, like you had messenger at the bottom right, and I felt like the messenger could be in every page, or some sort of like contact information on every page, or even the footer. So the account, so login, register, and then profile, orders, password reset, rewards, progression, and achievements. So there's some gamification in there, and I feel like everything here is open for discussion because there's so much that could be done here, and I feel like it has like a lot of potential around that area too. So the media, it's blogs, podcasts, and videos, how you mentioned, to include all that in there. And then the partners, like the affiliation, business to consumer, business to business. So there's that. And then the sitemap key is at the bottom. So primary category, secondary category, subcategories, tertiary subcategory. This is like the levels of how the hierarchy of the pages throughout the whole website. So here we have the footer: shop, explore, help, curriculum, affiliation, and media. So shop will be all like the province, and then the explore, and then the help. So like help, the footer we're gonna have like some sort of contact us, messenger, phone, or email. And then the curriculum, I felt like in order to provide trust for users and that motivation to hit the purchase button, I felt like adding the shipping, handling, digital download, refunds, curriculum feedback is all important for a user. And I felt like it could help user like get encouraged to and feel confident that that's a product for them. Or another thing is probably like samples, maybe including like a samples page perhaps, so users could access that like a lot quicker. So that's open to discussion again, and I feel like through user testing we could probably figure out like where it is most convenient to place these items. And then affiliation, and then media. So yeah, that's basically it. That's our updates for the week. I hope I was able to like um, provide good insights about our research and how user research is like super valuable, and how it helps us throughout the design process too, because the design process is like later on, but everything else has to be like research and feel um like the empathy map, for example. Like we have to know what the frustrations are for the user. Like every business has like different users, and I feel like we're figuring out, like we just figured out your users and their frustrations and their goals and what they're wanting in a product. And I feel like this will help us big time in design process and knowing how to aim exactly for those personas. So yeah, so hopefully if you have any feedback, let us know. And let me read the last quote. So user experience design is the science and art of designing a product so that it's easy to use, fits expectations, and meet business goals. So yeah, by Susan Winshik. So hopefully you found this video helpful. I know I couldn't wait, but I felt like we wanted to prove this message across to you and continue on with the design process. I felt like we're ready to move on to the design process and continue designing the pages. So yeah, hopefully you liked my presentation, and hopefully you take care. Have a good weekend, Sathish. The next one.